send it. From hustle to home. Hey! We see the heartbeat of the street. Voices loud, stories deep. From Lagos lights to Kano skies. The Nation TV, we open eyes. Well, this is Niger raw and true. News that speaks straight to you. From the roots to...
Good afternoon to you out there. Out of 48 countries, 18 countries have qualified for the 2026 FIFA World Cup that will take place in the United States, Mexico, and Canada. On that note, I welcome you to Sports Salsa on Nation TV. My name is Sammy, the one you call sports evangelist. I'm not alone. My staff partner is here with me. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Port Vabi, and yes, welcome to Sports Salsa on Nation TV.
Well, a whole lot in the world of football. In the course of the week, we saw a load of game FIFA World Cup qualifier. So far, we have 18 countries out of 48. So we still have 30 spots for them to actually fight for. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good, but I think my problem here is that
Still not among
very
the
shaky.
Qualified 18 countries.
So
we still have 30
I'm
spots to fight for.
I'm not feeling myself yet concerning the World Cup qualification.
Well, but if you look at it, the last edition we missed out.
Yeah.
Right there in Nigeria, we failed to beat Ghana. Right here on a way goal, we crashed out. Now again, we are on the verge of crashing out again. What do you really think is really going on with Nigeria?
Don't you think he's even wrong, or is even, should I say, backward, that Nigeria is still not among those? No, I mean, I'm not concluding yet, but Nigeria is still not among those going for the 2026 World Cup. I mean, Nigeria is supposed to be the,
one of the top countries of qualify
in Africa. You understand that when you check the potentials in the Nigeria crew, we have Salsa, we have Victor Osimhen, who has won African, Player of the Year back to back. We have Ademola Lookman, who is a
players
current.
Who have done it in Nigeria.
You understand, and just there, it's looking like what's going on actually.
And if you look at it, talking about the Nigerian perspective, there's something we really have to understand, and it's simple. That you have the players, don't mean I'm going to have the team. They are two different things entirely. We have the African Player of the Year 2023, we have that of 2024, and we are still here. It's not all about Nigeria, it's not all about the players, it's about the preparations. And now we found ourselves here, we are struggling to even make it. Not only Nigeria, but for me, the angle I'm looking at is now, remember 1990, 16 countries played the World Cup. 1994, we have 24. 1998 we have 32. This time FIFA is doing 48. Yes, it's understandable because FIFA is 211 members and 48 nations playing the World Cup. It's still okay, but look at Africa. Out of 48, we have 9 spots automatic for Africa, and we have the other spots that we have to compete for through playoff. But just imagine 9 African countries going to the World Cup without a country called Nigeria.
It's a shame, actually. It's a shame, and I'm still hoping. I mean,
that we still find a way through the back door to get in there.
And I think we're used to that, and that shows how poor we are preparation. We are used to, maneuvering everything and entering the. I don't know it's going to be.
But there's something I don't really like talking about. People who say, okay, not going to the World Cup. I don't really see it as our bad right. Remember 2006, this same thing, former NFF president then, I'm talking about Galadima said, and he was removed from office. But still not our bad right. Before 1994, we have failed to qualify for the World Cup until 1994. So, though back to back might not be too good considering the caliber of player that we have, but at the same time, you can't continue doing the wrong thing and be expecting the right results.
I think for us, I kind of disagree with you to an extent. Why? Because we're a giant of Africa, so it's more of ego bruising for us than. I think that's where the birthright stuff enter, because at the end of the day, it's a birthright. We have to get
the last edition of to qualify in Qatar.
Well,
the World Cup continued.
That is gone. This one.
Let's see. Maybe Nigeria will be able to find it there and qualify for the World Cup. Let's see if that will happen. For South Africa, the last time they played was in 2010 when they hosted the competition. It's an opportunity for them to be able. But the only thing I don't like is people saying Nigeria and South Africa rivalry. Talking about Nigeria and South Africa, no. I think I would disagree with that. We are not rivals when it comes to football.
I understand where you're coming from, because when you take history, they are not up to us. But I don't use past glory. When it comes to football, I don't like past glory. We're talking of Nigeria of now.
But we are still better now. Even on the FIFA ranking, we are still better.
Yeah, we are still better, but there's not much, difference there, because you can't ignore it when you're going to go and play football with Nigeria. There's more tension. I can remember the AFCON. I remember how the tension was. Even the last time we played
Nigeria has always been like that in every competition. People talk about tension, talk about pressure. I think tension and football, they go pari passu.
It is more when it comes to Bafana, South African guys. It is more.
It's about
You
PR.
can't compare Zambia, Rwanda.
it's
We
about-
know we
it's-
don't
it's-
care
it's-
about
it's
all
about
those
PR
ones.
for them.
You don't care about all those ones. I mean, like, I think when it comes to Bafana, there's a lot going on apart from even football, entertainment, everything. We want to dominate them. There's more tension when it comes to Bafana. So we have to dominate them continuously.
Well, and away from that, so let's hope Nigeria will be able to make it to the World Cup. But away from that, let's talk about what's going on right there in the Premier League. You know, it has been all about World Cup qualifier now, but now we are going straight away this weekend back into the Premier League. If you're a Nottingham Forest player, one thing is certain: by the time you return from international football, you're going to be playing under a new manager. This week, the manager of the club, I'm talking about Nuno Espirito Santo, has been sacked as the coach of Nottingham Forest.
I want to ask you, do you think it's a good thing or do you think it's going to be problematic for them?
For me, if you look at Nottingham Forest
Yeah.
last season, they finished in the 10th position. No, in the 7th position, if I'm not mistaken. Their best position seems like Garden of Eden. Now you have a manager who has been able to stabilize the team for you. But I think he fell out with the owners of the club. I'm talking about Evangelos Marinakis, the Greek man. He fell out with the man because I remember the first press conference he actually made a statement in the early part of the season that it doesn't go well in terms of recruitment. The club is not doing the right thing in terms of recruitment, and I think that doesn't go really well.
They didn't really do so much in this season transfer.
Yeah, if you look at Nottingham Forest, when they got promoted, they signed over 23 players. Remember, the first season they got promoted, they changed the whole team. The man invested heavily in that team. Now they've stabilized. Now one really have to understand that, okay, now that we have stabilized, we have to look at who comes into our team. Don't forget that Nottingham Forest, they are former European champion. They have won Champions League twice. So we really have to give it to them. So now we have stabilized. We have to look at who comes to our team and who leaves our team. If you look at them last season, except for Elanga that left the club, like of Chris Wood, Ola Aino, Austin Odoi, Morgan Gibbs White, they are all still in the team. I think they just need to bring in one or two players at least to complement what they have already. And if you look at this season also, they've signed players too. If you check them now, this season they've signed players to at least make something up for that team. But I think the angle of Espirito Santo to really have to look at that angle that, okay, in the coming season we might likely be playing close to 50 matches because we will be playing the Premier League. Sure, 38 matches. We have the FA Cup, we have the Carabao Cup, and we have the Europa League. So it means that it's thinking that, okay, Evangelos, bring more money, let's get more quality players, because he too, as a coach, he wants to win. I can understand that, but at the same time, you have to really look at your club. You can't put Nottingham Forest in the same box with Chelsea or Liverpool or United. You can't put them in the same box.
Or Arsenal.
Or even or Arsenal. I agree with you. You can't put them in the same box in terms of signing and in terms of ambition. What we saw of Leicester in 2016 is something that happened once in 50 years.
Once in a while.
So they are thinking maybe they will be able. Okay, look at what happened last season. They are already in the top 4. At some point, they are in the top 2. People are thinking, okay, how come Chelsea was able to at least finish 4th ahead of Nottingham Forest? My sister, if you are big, you are big. There are a lot of things that make Arsenal, that make Chelsea, that make Liverpool. There are a lot of that is just the truth. But for me, I understand the angle of Marinakis, the owners of the club, and also the angle of Santo. But the statement he made during the first press conference, that is what actually nailed Espirito Santo. Now they have a new manager, and Postecoglou.
Well, my one is that the only reason why I'm not supporting, or I'm a little bit, happy with the development in Nottingham Forest, is that when it comes to Nuno Santos, I feel like it does more of this defensive, pragmatic style. And Angel Postecoglou, apart from his popular phrase of saying every 2 years I always win the trophy every second year, is that he has this attacking style. Now that
they have the Angie, if you are talking about Nuno being defensive, you have to look at who you are playing against. That is just the truth. Okay, you want to play against an Arsenal team or against a Liverpool team that have Salah, that have this player. You have to plan your team.
Would you now be defensive all your life?
Not about that season. They scored load of goals with Chris Wood scoring goals for them.
How many goals did they concede?
No, they didn't concede much because of their goalkeeper. They didn't concede much.
But this is a more competitive season. I don't actually think that the defensive style is going to work this time. I feel like every team is all out.
That is why I say, okay, bring players that are established to help my team. But at the same time, you can't get a player that will go to Arsenal and won't go to Nottingham Forest.
Yeah,
it's not possible.
We saw that.
But at the same time, I think it's, let's see. But talking about Ange Postecoglou coming into Nottingham Forest.
To be honest, I actually thought it was going to be Jose Mourinho, because we already hearing stuff of Jose Mourinho. You know, it was
coming back to the Premier League.
Yeah, it was coming back to Premier League. So I was like, oh my God, Jose Mourinho is going to Nottingham Forest. It's going to be interesting. When I saw it was Postecoglou, I not that I wasn't excited. I mean, I love that for Nottingham Forest, but now I'm just looking forward to what is going to implement in the club.
You are talking about Ange.
Yeah.
Ange, yes, he will come to the team, but I think if they might likely struggle, because if you look at Ange, considering the caliber of player that play for Tottenham, with what we are saying, different tactics, different game plan.
But Ange was the one that ended that trophy drought for Tottenham.
But they finished 16th.
Yeah, but I feel like at that moment they just shifted their focus to, okay, we cannot win Premier League. Let us maintain that we will not get relegation. Let us go straight to,
Europa
winning the
League,
Europa. Yeah.
Because they know they're going to be playing a certain United in the final.
And that was smart to an extent.
Well, I agree, but at the same time, let's see. We now have Ange in position of Nuno Espirito Santo. So let's see where Espirito Santo will end. But now the countdown has begun now. The manager that will first got the boot. Now this one has gone. Santo has gone now. Who's next? That should be the next question in the Premier League.
And the funniest thing is their first match will be against Arsenal.
Yeah, this coming weekend.
At home, Emirates Stadium.
Okay, let's really just talk about it this weekend. Well, on Saturday, launch kickoff.
I'm excited.
Nottingham Forest against Arsenal
at
the Emirates Stadium.
How do you think it's going to be?
Well, for me, if you look at it very well, manager bounce might likely set in for Nottingham Forest. Everybody might really want to impress the new manager. Okay, I want to be in the team.
Yeah.
Arsenal too.
Okay.
We have the manager. Though the Arsenal problem still remain in there in terms of their manager, the stubborn style of play.
Very stubborn.
Is still in there.
Very rigid.
And also they have an injury worries. Saka is no more there now.
So Saliba.
That's another problem they are facing now. And the issue of Gunners is still in there, and they really have to address it. The issue is still in there. The issue is this, that okay, he has certain player that he has fixed his mind on using, like of Saka, and that Saka is not available. Now, last week we were talking about Cole Palmer, Chelsea. Now look at this season now, without Cole Palmer now, Chelsea is not relying so much on him, and they are at least getting the result with a certain Esteban coming in.
To be honest, I am not that scared like I used to be in prior seasons when Saka has injury like this. Oh my God, Arsenal fans are always worried. But I feel like we've signed amazing players into the club, so it's not that scary.
Amazing player like Noni Madueke.
Noni Madueke is okay. Iberichi is there. We have Gyökeres there. We have also check out Merino, how amazing it was for Spain. Scored an hat-trick. Now the what I want to bring out now is it was always used as false nine, and now everybody's like, oh, should he not be a striker?
No. I think for me, looking at him very well,
but he in front of Gyökeres.
Let him just remain a player that play directly behind the striker.
Okay.
Don't play him as a number 9. He doesn't seem to have the force.
It's third goal. I
think for me, if you look at Iberichi, is a good addition,
a
good replacement for the guard who always have a very good, decent first half. When it mattered most, we all know that other guy will disappear. Now that we have a certain Iberichi coming into the team, that would be a good addition as far as I'm concerned. But the fact still remains that I still don't like the way Arteta always run after Chelsea players. Because
I don't understand it also.
For me, if you want a player that comes into your team, everybody knows that Madueke left Chelsea because of the coming of the first Esteban. Now let him just join another club. Look out there, get a better player that will help your team.
I don't want us to write off Noni Madueke. I'm not going to.
Noni Madueke can't replace Saka.
But we have Nwaneri there that can replace Saka.
For me, all these young players you are talking about, Nwaneri and Co, you are talking about, they will play well in the early part of the season.
No.
When it mattered most, when we are getting to the quarterfinal of Champions League, when it's the game of the big boys, that is when it mattered most. That's when you say, okay, can you really cope? Because look at Arsenal last season. After beating Real Madrid, he did everything to beat Madrid. But when it mattered against PSG, what happened?
But that was due to Partey anyway, because we're already used to that formation, and Thomas Partey wasn't available that time. I think that was where the whole.
But Partey's no more in the team now.
Yeah, I know. And who is supposed to replace Partey again?
Yeah, they brought in Christian Nogard from Brentford. So let's see how the whole thing will be on Saturday. Launch kickoff. Any launch
also,
kickoff.
we have Max Dorman.
Any launch kickoff in the Premier League always end in a draw. because of the pressure.
I just pray that
Arsenal will be able to.
Arsenal will break the jinx this time around.
But apart from the Arsenal game, so also have games coming up that way. So that will coming up 3 p.m. that day. You see, have Newcastle Wolf. I would like to see Newcastle Wolf because of a particular player, Tolulo Parukodari, that has joined Wolf.
And scored the
So
goal
yes,
for Nigeria.
so I would like to
against
see
Rwanda.
how this guy will be against Newcastle. But looking at Tolulo, I've watched him play in Belgium.
Okay.
I love the way he scores. He look more like Rashidi Yekini in terms of physique.
Okay.
Though he might not seem to have the legs
Yeah.
of Rashidi Yekini,
Yeah, true.
but very good in the air. He has the presence.
Yeah.
Now this is Premier League.
Well, it's
Against
for
Newcastle.
him. Premier League is the most competitive league. So this is where Toria Kodiri needs to, add to his value, like really work on himself, so that reflect on every other team. Because I just feel like there's this experience when it comes to Premier League. When you leave Premier League and come and represent your country, there's this extra experience apart from every other league. Do you agree or not?
If you look at the Premier League, very well,
Mm-hmm.
Premier League is kind of league that expose player.
Yeah, very well.
When Ahmed Musa was playing in Russia, doing very well, when he joined Leicester, he disappeared. That's why I said, okay, Tolu coming to the Premier League now, you have to up your game.
Yeah.
Because everybody, the whole world is watching now. We want to see what you do. Don't forget that in the past we used to have Obina Sofo, Meneke play for West Ham. They were unable to cope with the pressure. Let's hope that against Newcastle at St. James's Park, Tolu Parukodari will be able to live up to the hype, because it's all about him now. And Wolf, for me, though I've tipped them that this season they are going to struggle. They might likely go down.
Someone told me they were going to
They might likely go down
this season.
Yeah, another tough game coming up is going to be at the Gorgeous Park. Everton against Aston Villa.
I feel like Everton is just going to be a team in Premier League that they know that they cannot get into top 4 or top this thing or top
But
anything,
but
they will be there positioned to frustrate every other big team.
that really want to come and show themselves. Maybe they will be able to.
They've been doing that for a long time.
But
This
now
time
it's
around,
like
they'll go on
they have their manager back. Now I'm talking about David Moyes, who have been able to stabilize the ship now, and I think they have recruited well too. I think the lack of Jack Grealish and Kieran Dubry, very good addition for Everton.
I still don't
And
believe
those
they
guys.
can top it.
No, we're not saying them coming to the top 4,
Okay.
but at least finishing the top 10 will not be bad for a club that have suffered in the past. Don't forget that in the past 2 3 they've been struggling. They were like relegation. Now they have moved to a new stadium, and now they are doing well now. So maybe the top 7 will not be bad for Everton.
Okay.
And that's what we are too.
Top 7 is a stretch for me. Just saying.
And away from that also, we also be having one game coming up before we talk about Chelsea against Brentford. Brentford will be coming up at 8 p.m. But let's talk about London Derby. Crystal Palace, FA Cup winner against Tottenham Hotspur.
I think Crystal Palace, Liverpool, and I've forgotten the other club. They are the only ones that have not lost in this season so far.
Chelsea have not lost.
Oh, Chelsea. I knew when I said I've forgotten the club. As I said, Crystal Palace, Liverpool, and Chelsea are the ones that have not lost. So Crystal Palace have that advantage right now. Do you understand? So against they're playing with who again?
Yeah, Crystal Palace, Tottenham.
Tottenham has been showing off so far. Tottenham
showing off. They lost last game against Bournemouth at home. So
I like the way you mentioned surprisingly, because I just feel like there's a lot of visible growth in their play.
Yeah, I use the word visibly surprisingly because you travel to Italy to beat Man City. Only for you to come back home to go and lose to Bournemouth.
And even what's this particular match they played with? This Super Cup final when they played with PSG.
PSG.
It was a very tough match,
But
honestly. Yeah, I know they lost, but you could actually see that it was not like as if PSG dominated. You understand? So I'm still gonna pitch my tents with
Tottenham.
No.
With Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
For me, we are going to talk about, but let's talk about this one last game on Premier League on Saturday. That will be coming up 8 p.m. So it will be Chelsea at the Community Stadium. Chelsea against Brentford. Chelsea have won 2 games. They drew 1. They drew play against Crystal Palace. They walloped West Ham 5-1, and also they defeated their last game. They also won against Fulham 2-0 at Stamford Bridge. So now they are going to Community Stadium against Brentford.
Chelsea is a team that I see that they're going to be top 4, if not top 2. So I am literally, scared of them. I'm not gonna lie. And I feel like Chelsea is just a team that when they want to get something, they will literally get it. So against Brentford is another team that is doing quite well.
Yeah, they're not doing badly.
So it's going to be, I don't think it will be an easy game entirely.
Yes. Brentford playing at home.
Brentford playing at home.
8 p.m.
I don't know. I'm still gonna pitch my 10th with Chelsea.
Chelsea to win the game.
Yeah, they look
Also,
more.
yeah, let's
reliable.
check one or two games in the La Liga. Saturday afternoon, Real Madrid will play against Real Sociedad. You know, Real Madrid, for me, under this guy I'm talking about, Alonso,
Xabi
I'm not really
Alonso.
I'm not really convinced the way they.
But
they
he won the coach of the month. In
because he
La
was able
Liga.
to win 3 games.
I mean, 3 games, three wins.
Not a bad one for him.
Not a bad one.
But for me, I'm not convinced about.
I'm not convinced too, but I am happy that Xabi Alonso is actually, shutting everybody up.
Well, if you look at that Real Madrid very well, they've been unable to replace Luka Modric and Toni Kroos.
Toni Kroos, yeah.
You know, absence of Toni Kroos really cost them last season. They were unable to
especially
replace him.
Toni Kroos.
Now these guys have left also. I'm talking about Luka Modric. Now they are here. They are still winning games, especially in La Liga. No matter how poor Madrid and Barcelona, they're still going to win games in La Liga.
Yeah.
But now they are not really, for me, they've not really showed that attitude that they can actually go all the way when it comes. Look at what happened to them at the Club World Cup. Real Madrid.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't see them, winning the league. I hope and I assume that they will be number 2. They will win the number 2. Yeah, you can't compare Real Madrid to Barcelona right now. Barcelona, now them they hot. Understand? All of them they hot. Look at Lamine Yamal, Rafinha.
They are hot because last season Barcelona won the league last season.
And they are still showing up.
They won it last season because of the way La Liga is structured. I'll keep on saying that.
No,
in Spain,
we saw our Real Madrid last season.
But
there was no chemistry.
But we have 20 clubs.
No, I mean I feel like. What talking about?
We have 20 clubs.
We're talking about the big boys.
That's why I said they are able to dominate in that league because of the structure of that league.
What do you mean?
Because if you look at La Liga very well, it's all about 2 clubs. 2 clubs and the rest. That is just the truth. Because we have La Liga, we have Barcelona, we have Real Madrid. Just look at it. Now, in La Liga now, they will give Barcelona and Real Madrid, for instance, 100 naira to spend in the market. Mm-hmm. But they will give another club 10 naira to spend. Yeah. And want to compete in the same league. It's impossible. You can imagine a club, sometimes that went on relegation last season, have more money than Atletico Madrid. So what are you not saying? And we are competing in the same league. So no matter how poor Madrid or Barcelona, they will still finish the top 2 because they have the financial wherewithal to still control that league. So what are we not saying? So that's why I said Barcelona was able to dominate La Liga last season because of the structure of that league. They too are not really that convincing last season. Look at what happened to them in Champions League.
This is what we're going to fight.
No, they were convincing their own league. But look at them in the Champions League.
Okay.
So if you want to judge, there's some club in Europe. If you want to judge them with the Champions League. Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, and Barcelona. You can't judge them based on their league.
I feel like when it comes to that Champions League, the one they did against Inter Milan, I felt like they gambled that game. It was a case of them. What's that word? Gambled. They underestimated Inter Milan.
For 180 minutes.
Sometimes it's to get to a point that it's to get to maybe 1 minute and you realize that, oh my God, they gambled and they cannot now restructure themselves back. I think that was the point of that game. Because I don't think Barcelona did not play well that day. It's just...
For 180 minutes. I think for both legs, Inter Milan are just the better side.
Wait, did they play with them twice?
They play home and away.
Ooh.
So they gamble in the first leg, they gamble in the second leg.
Well.
So Inter Milan the better side. Away from that, let's go to Italy before we check game of the week that will be coming up on Sunday. Let's go to Italy. We have key game also on Saturday. Juventus against Inter. That's another massive game at the Allianz Arena in Italy. Juventus, they've been blowing hot and cold in the past 5 years. They've not been really busy. The Juventus that we know.
And Inter, I'm not sure of them anymore too. I feel like Inter, especially after that Champions League final when they had with PSG,
they've not remained the same.
Yes, it's like as if those ones came and just gave them low self-esteem. It just turned to something else. They've not been playing like the Inter that we know. The
manager left. Exactly, left to join Saudi Arabian club. So 1 or 2 players who also left the club. I think it boils down to what is going on in Italian Serie A. No money.
Oh yeah.
They don't really have money to spend. When during the era of Silvio Berlusconi as the owner of AC Milan, he was the former prime minister of Italy. He was the owner of AC Milan. They have money. They have big players playing in Italian Serie A. Then we have the like of Kaka, Seedorf playing the Serie A. But when the man left, now AC Milan, Inter Milan, they've been struggling to cope a lot of issues. See what happened between Osimhen and Napoli.
Yeah.
If they have any big player, they want to hold on to that big player so they can use him to make more money. Look at what Atalanta did to Ademola Lookman. They want to use him to make money because they don't really have money in that league.
The money was not even that much. Was it not 60 M?
Yeah, they are hoping for 50. They are hoping for 50.
And I still think that's very wrong because how will you be pricing African best?
No,
for 60 M.
That's why we are getting it wrong. It's based on the agreement. Last season, PSG want to buy Ademola Lookman.
And
they didn't agree. And they signed a deal that okay, Ademola Lookman, you are going next season. If you plug come for you next season, and we are not going to sign for any Italian team. And Ademola Lookman agreed and signed with them. Okay, I'm not going to sign for any Italian team. Now Inter Milan came up. Okay, I want to join Inter Milan. You have personal time with them. And they reminded him that okay, guy, you say you're not going to play for any Italian team. Okay, we want you to go to Inter Milan. But Inter Milan must pay 50 million. And Inter said no. So it's all politics. They went behind to go and talk to Ademola Lookman. Okay, go against your club. Now look at what is going on with Atalanta and Ademola Lookman.
And it's still in Atalanta.
So, well, it's still with Atalanta now. Except if you want to go and play in Turkey. Still, or want to go to Saudi Arabia. But that aside, let's hope that Juventus will be able to at least do the needful against Inter Milan.
And get a point.
And get maybe off point of them. Juventus will be playing at home. And also, we have a game also coming up in Germany. Bayern Munich will be playing against Hamburg. We have Hoffenheim against Dortmund. So a load of games coming up, right? In the friendly league too, we have games also coming up. But let's go to Sunday because on Sunday, game of the week coming up on Sunday, the Manchester derby. The Manchester derby will be coming up on Sunday.
I'm excited for
and
this
that's
one.
4:30 Nigerian time. The Manchester derby will be coming up. Now, Man City, they played 3 games, they lost 2. Here we are, playing hot and cold. United also, we are not sure.
Man U too, they played 3, they've lost 2.
They lost 2, so we are not sure the United or the City that will turn up for that game.
I don't know the Manchester that will turn up for that game. But I would pitch my tent to Man City because Manchester United, I think they are struggling more than Man City is. I think the origin with Manchester City is that they've cut the scope of Pep Guardiola. You understand? So it's very easy to actually.
I think I would disagree with that. I want to quickly talk about Man City. I think it boils down to the quality of players that are playing for Man City now. There's no kind of player Guardiola can go and pay 120 million for now.
Okay.
So no club. Now, if you want to reshuffle Man City now, it means that you have to go to Chelsea, get your Palmer back, get your Enzo Fernandez, get your Fernandez from them, go to Arsenal, Ajayi, Declan Rice. It means that's what's going to happen if you want to rebuild Man City. That's what Guardiola will do, because the player he wants to use, you can't expect. Look at Foden. Look at Bernardo Silva. So I think they have peaked already. But for United, we are not sure United will.
United, now that Matheus Cunha has injury, play Benjamin Sesko. What is his use? Like, I need to, shout it. What is his use? Why are they putting him on bench?
Keep him for AFCON.
What is that? I don't understand.
Let's keep him for AFCON. So,
AFCON.
Yes, let's keep him for AFCON. So that's just the truth.
Well, they need to play him. I mean,
we just have to pack our bag and leave. But for me, tell a friend to tell a friend that Sports Salsa is back. Is here on TheNationTv. My name is Samson Adedeji, your evangelist right there. And
my name is Lizette Femoleade, your one and only sports Barbie.
Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
Bye.
From the roots to the rise, come and see.